welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the first Breakfast Without the Kojo for the month of April. I know it's the last week of April, but this is the first live stream that I've been able to do, and I'm so excited to be back. It's been so long. It's been so long. I've been busy. I'll fill you all in on what I've been up to, and then we will get started. Wow, it's been so long. It's good to be back. It is great to be back. I feel awesome. I feel great. So before we start, go ahead, use the comment section to let me know your name and where you're checking in from, and we will go ahead and get started. My name is Kojo. I'm checking in from what looks to be a sunny day here in Los Angeles, California. So it's going to be a good one, and I'm excited that you all are out here. Jacqueline, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Jackie? Kimberly, what's up? What's up? Let's see, Kimmy. I'm so excited. I'm talking fast. Yeah, so I'm happy to be back. I'm very happy to be back. I've been on the East Coast. I had a wedding to go to. My grandma turned 90. My sister had a wedding, and now it's time to get back. I'm excited. We got Michelle checking in from Paducah, Kentucky. Okay, Lafayette, Louisiana. Leilani, one of the moderators, checking in from Tennessee. Diagnosed with depression, anxiety, bipolar from Lancaster. Nancy, you're welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your attention. I'm new but love mental health. Thanks for finding Destiny from Texas. Destiny, what's up? What's up? What's up? Judith, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your dad is my teacher. Ashley. All right, Ashley, I'm gonna tell I'm gonna tell my dad to give you a good grade in the next test. I will let him know. I took a picture. I'm new here. Joe May, what's up? What's up? We got Say checking in from London on LinkedIn. I appreciate your attention. Thank you so much. Oklahoma in the house, Phoenix, Arizona in the house, Nottingham, UK. Okay, so two people from the UK. Kelly from Memphis, Naja from Philly. What's up? Aisha Whaley from Baltimore, Maryland. Ashley, no worries. Valdosta, Georgia in the house. Sandy in Florida. What's up, Sandy's also from LinkedIn. How are you doing? Jackie, I miss y'all. I miss y'all too. It was so weird not being on the live stream, and I was like, oh no, there's a world outside of like content creation. I have to get hip to the world outside of it. But it was good. I enjoyed my break. Rhode Island in the house, Houston in the house, Becky from Bristol, UK, Council Bluffs, Iowa, Matt from Michigan. Thank you from the love from LinkedIn. And let me see, diagnosed PTSD, bipolar, borderline. Well, you're welcome to the live stream. Everybody is welcome. I have ADHD. I'll talk about ADHD along the live stream, but regardless of your diagnosis, whatever's going on, you're welcome. I'm happy you're here, and I'm excited that you're here as well. We have Copenhagen, Denmark in the house. Mathilde, how are you doing? I got family in Denmark, so I'd love to come one day. Love your messages. Thank you so much, Sandra. I appreciate it. Sandy, thank you so much. Your videos on ADHD have changed my mindset and have helped me so much to understand why I have these. And Brooke, that's why I'm so grateful for the internet, and we'll get into the 3 mental health tips I've learned in 2023, but I'm so grateful for the internet because we can share these different tips and tricks, right? And you could be somewhere where, you could be like in a county where there's no psychiatrist, no nurse practitioner, no doctor, but you could go on Facebook and watch a video about body doubling and learn about how to manage your ADHD. And it's not a substitute for professional help, right? This is not professional help. This is just, we're just vibing and having fun over here, right? But learning about, adjusting your diet, cutting out synthetic dyes, like I follow a high protein, high fiber diet. I do all these different things for my ADHD that allows me to be productive. So to come out here and to be able to give you all these tips, and I'm also learning a lot from y'all too, so it's been a pleasure. Mississippi in the house. My 2 daughters have depression, but my 5-year-old has PTSD. Well, Nancy, all y'all are welcome here. Thanks. Yeah, I gotta get out to Denmark one day. Dentist. Okay. Leilani, drive safe. Missouri. Yeah, Jackie from Missouri. Been watching your page and tips have been helping me. Columbus, Ohio. Alicia, what's up? Columbus in the house. I'm ashamed bipolar 1, BPD, CPTSD. So, Kimberly, this is one thing that, real quick, before we get into the tips, we don't have to be ashamed about, diagnoses, but, nobody's really talking about this stuff. So I see where the shame comes from. But, if you're able to, like, let's say you're meeting somebody, make a new friend, or you're dating somebody, you let them know, oh, I got bipolar, ADHD, whatever, if that's the scariest thing that you have to tell them and you let them know from the jump, then you have no more shame, right? If your secret was bipolar one and you put it out there, well, what can they say about you? What can they say about you? You know, and then they might even say, "Oh, I have BPD." You know, like you never know because people like we just never talk about these things, right? So I'm like, screw it. Let's talk about it. I just got diagnosed with ADHD last Wednesday after 29 years of struggling. So Judith, thank you for sharing. You know, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. And real quick, I haven't been on live stream in so long, so I have a million thoughts. But the short film that we shot last week Wednesday here at the house, uh, we took the viewer into the world of ADHD, but from a female perspective. Because whenever you type in ADHD short film or whatever on YouTube, like you always see like the little hyperactive kid, like you never see it from a female's perspective, right? And obviously, like I have ADHD, I had it my whole life, so I've seen it from my perspective. So it was really cool for us to, make a project and to show it from the woman's perspective because a lot of women, like Judith, went almost 30. I'm 30 years old. That's how old I am. I'm 30 years old, and Miss Judith went 29 years of struggling. So since 1993, 1994, she's been struggling, and nobody has been able to help her out. So the stuff that we're doing here on the internet is important, and you said Nottingham, Nottingham. Not yeah. I got to work on my British accent. The miss my last panic attack. That's good. They're moving in the right direction. OCD, GAD, maybe ADHD too. Well, there's only one way to find out. Naja, Colorado in the house. Okay, we got a lot of people from Colorado. Okay, what's ID? I'm not. I think ID is Idaho. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're just not getting help. I'm thankful I'm this young. Then that's a good perspective. That's a good perspective. I got diagnosed at 30. Yeah, you're seeing that a lot. It's easier when you start the conversation. Right, Aisha, somebody has to be the Mickey Ficky to be like, are we gonna talk about this or not? Right? Somebody has to start the conversation, So I guess that's my that's my thing. I'll start the conversation and we'll go on from there. Yeah, I think ID is Idaho. Idaho, right? ADHD and depression are part of my everyday life. And Christy, that is the truth for a lot of people. But life doesn't have to be like what I don't want people doing is I don't want people accepting the fact that they have ADHD and depression or whatever and saying, all right, my life is over. I'm screwed. No, your life is not screwed. You just have to know how to work with it, right? You just have to know how to work with it. And it can be a serious struggle. It can be a serious struggle, but like this is the life that we have, right? If you have BPD, bipolar, ADHD, whatever the case is, like this is your life. This is your truth. Now, how are we going to take this life that we have and make it count? No need to be ashamed of a mental diagnosis. No more hiding. Let's be proud. We're getting help that we need. Yes. So, all right. The first love of the show, we haven't done the love of the show so far, but the first love of the show goes to Nancy. First love of the show. Nancy says, no more hiding. Let's be proud. We're getting the help that we need. So the reason why it's important to, I mean, you don't have to like tell random strangers about what's going on with you, right? But the reason why it's important to acknowledge a diagnosis is once you've acknowledged it and accepted it, you can go get the help that you need, right? That's the most important thing, the help that you need. If you're in hiding, it's really hard to help somebody who's in hiding, right? So we have to get the help that we need. That's so important, but you can't do that if you're in denial. So the first step is accepting it and understand that there's something I can do about this. I don't have to be helpless, right? Like I don't have to accept this. We can thrive. A lot of people who have ADHD, depression, mental health issues, diagnosed and undiagnosed, you're really just trying to like survive life, right? But life shouldn't happen to us. Like life is happening now. We have to actively go out there and make the life that we want for ourselves, right? And let me see what Lilian says. Neighbors for the first time, and found out that there's also ADHD and 16. The father, 60. Oh, so you're saying that your neighbor also has ADHD? Yeah. So a lot of people, struggle, but nobody's talking about it. We gotta talk about it. Linda, what's up? Happy to have you here. You show us how to deal the best we can. Tips and tricks. Knowing and accepting was my first step. Exactly. And that leads me to the 3 things that I've learned in 2023, right? So as I'm posting all this information, I'm also on a journey myself, and I'm learning different things. I'm learning how to take care of my life and how to be the best person for other people, right? But it starts with myself. So likewise with you all, it starts with y'all, right? And I let people know up front. I like that, bro. I like that. The very first thing that I've learned right here, and this is either very frightening or liberating, depending on how you look at it, right? Very frightening or liberating. Lanisha, thank you. Norfolk State. Yeah, I didn't attend Norfolk State, but I used to live in Virginia for a little bit. I was in Williamsburg. Fellow mental prescriber, much respect. Hey, Lanisha, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? The first thing that I've learned in 2023, we control very little. Focus on what you can control, right? We don't control that much. And for those of us who tend to be anxious, it's very difficult when you turn on the news, right? And then you see that there's a mass shooting here. This has happened there, a accident here. This is happening on planes. Are your kids safe? So many things are going to freak you out, right? So much is going to freak you out. We don't control that much, right? But we do control a lot. The little that we control, it's it's a lot, right? You can control the people that you hang out with. You can control the things that you say to yourself. You can control the things that people say to you, right? You can control the energy that you're around. You can control who you decide to do life with, right? We get to pick our partners, right? Sometimes people will say, "Oh, I wish I had a different girlfriend or boyfriend." Or, like you get to pick. You get to pick. We have a lot of control over a lot of things, and we don't realize that, right? So maybe the big things we can't control, but we do have a lot of control over certain things, right? And we need to not forget that, right? We cannot forget that. Bianca, hey, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. As a parent, I started conversations with my daughter could learn the tools now needed to manage and prevent, lessen the child trauma that can be left over from ADHD, bipolar, BPD. So I love the show goes to you as well right here. Your child will thank you, when they're 17, 27, 37. A lot of times the things that happen to us as kids, there was no Dr. Kojo around. There was no mental health, anything. So we just thought that it was life, right? But when we became adults, we're like, oh, if only I had this as a kid, I'd be better at, setting boundaries and X, Y, and Z, right? So when you start, it's never too early to start, never too early to start. It's a good. Don't take time. Don't react. Yeah, don't react. Take time to respond. What's your thoughts on the effect of culture on adapting your perspective on life with so many external circumstances influencing our mental health, dating, work, and community? What's your thoughts on the effect of culture on adapting your perspective on life with so many external circumstances influencing our mental health, dating, work, and community? All right, so Spinneroo, this is a fantastic question, right? So culture is always changing and shifting, and it influences us a lot, right? All of us, regardless of if we're paying attention to the news or if we're not. But culture has already changed how we approach mental health, right? Now we're much more open about it, so that's a good thing. When it comes to dating, I don't know if things are getting better or worse, but you go online and you look at dating advice, and somebody's saying, I know a lady will be telling women, "Oh, date only rich guys," or do this, and then a guy will be telling other guys, "Oh, this is what you're gonna do. Avoid these women." There's so much that's going on. We have to figure out how to tailor the advice for ourselves, right? So culture is one thing, and with work and community, a lot of work is remote now. Right? A lot of work is remote now. In community, a lot of people are doing Zoom meetings, all kinds of stuff. So we have to figure out what works for you, right? So something might work for somebody else, and they're talking about what's up, what's up, and they're talking about I'm on. Zo, go. All right, brother. All right, yeah. Let's get that workout in. Yeah. So people might have their own way of doing things, but it's very important for us to figure out what works for us, right? Don't let don't let a stranger on the internet tell you what to do with your life, and it's not contextual at all, right? I had to lose a lot of people to get my peace. Brooke, same here. And it's tough because when you put boundaries in place, this is what happens, unfortunately. Like you're gonna lose a lot of people, and sometimes those people that you never really needed in the first place. My friends, Laura, what's up? My friends and I call our group Cripples United. Sorry if anyone finds it offensive. Because I don't find it offensive, but like I do understand the disclaimer. We all have multiple disabilities and mental health issues. I have ADHD, diagnosed at 34, depression, anxiety, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, mobility issues, walk with a stick. There are people out there that are your people. They know your world, even if it's only online, video, phone, chat, friendship. Right? Yeah. And Laura, I like that, having a group of people that are your people. And it's funny that you mentioned that because that's one of my points. I'll get to that later in the live stream, but that's one of the points that I wanted to really talk about. Jen, nice to meet you. Jen, nice to meet you. Page 154 in the workbook. And I rearranged stuff in my room, so I gotta find my workbook. But if you have the book, thank you for your support. And 154 in the workbook, we're talking about confidence. All right. As a parent, I'm speaking freely for our children. I wish I was a teen. And I was very sorry to hear that, Nancy. I have my daughter in therapy. She told me she has self-harming thoughts. Yeah, as parents can step in so much more, but having that rapport with your kids where they're able to tell you the truth, that goes a long way, because a lot of kids don't want to tell their parents the truth because they feel like their parents don't understand, right? So it's almost like, all right, what's the point in doing this if my mom's not going to understand me, right? All right. And actually, let me go to the third one, because the third one is it goes in with what we're talking about right here. All right. So the third one's really the second one. The second one's really the third one. But the second tip is community matters. That's one thing that I've learned in 2023. Community matters. And Laura was just talking about that earlier. Laura said that she has her friend group, right? And in the friend group, what unites them? They all have issues, right? Issues that they're working on, some mental health issues, issues of chronic pain, physical. So when you have friends who are with you, right, and you all struggle, then it's not like, oh, I struggle and I'm helping this person out and they rely on me. You're not their caregiver. I struggle, they struggle, we all struggle, but now we struggle collectively. And community is one of the most important things that we all need. It's going to be, it's crazy because now, like, we can FaceTime people, we can do a live stream like this. We can use WhatsApp and talk to our family members in China, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, whatever, wherever they're at. But community is so important. And it's funny because this morning at the gym, I was talking to my gym buddy, and he was looking at a study of people who are extremely happy, and they were looking for common denominators. And it showed that people who have a close knit, friend circle are happy. People who work out are happy. People who have like a religion that they adhere by are happy, right? But let's talk about that community, having like-minded individuals. It's kind of like what we're doing here online, having people who have the same goals and objectives, and they want the best for everybody. When you're around people like that, you're only going to do much better. And this is regardless of what you're going through, whether it's ADHD, bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety. Just having a supportive community, somebody to pick you up when you fall, that goes a long way. It goes a long, long, long way. So many adults have to measure diagnosis as well as unpack the child trauma left from misdiagnosis, non-diagnosis. It can be so overwhelming. So, all right. So here's my thing. You do have to get the diagnosis right. The diagnosis is important because when you get that, you can get the right help. But a lot of times we underestimate like support. We all need support. Like there's certain things that we need regardless, right? And I call it the basics. If you've been watching my live stream, you know what I'm talking about. The basics. Getting enough sleep, putting good foods in your body, exercising. Those three things, I would not make any big decision without making sure that I'm doing those three things. I would not date anybody unless I'm doing those three things consistently. So if somebody comes to me and like, oh, I'm thinking about talking to this person, I'm like, are you getting enough sleep? Are you putting good food in your body? Are you hanging around people who support you? Are you exercising? If you can't do those four basics, then like you could have bipolar disorder and you could have the best doctor in the world. The doctor could be giving you lithium therapy. You could have the best setup in the world, but if you're not doing the basics, it's going to be very difficult to manage, right? So I think it is important to get the right diagnosis, right? And sometimes when you go to therapy, you're making up for what you didn't have as a child. But don't underestimate the basics: good sleep, good food, exercising enough. hang around people who support you. Those are the basics. We cannot forget that. I'm going to talk about that in every live stream, and that's fine. I could be redundant with that. Makes me know I'm not the only one going through. Right. And not just, so that's the thing. That's the lies that we tell ourselves, right? I say, well, I'm the only person going through this. Like, I'm weird. I'm going through this awful time. No, like, we're all going through it, right? So collectively, we can come together and get through it easier. Well, Leilani's back. Hey. All right, that's awesome. How do I control my mania from bipolar depression? Kind of self-diagnosed, but it pushes. I can't stop my posting this. All right, so kind of self-diagnosed. So, Christopher, the reason why I like this question is because, of course, I tell people all the time, if you think you have mania and you think you have bipolar depression and you're not sure, what we have to do is we have to find a provider, a mental health provider in our area, so we can lock in on the diagnosis to make sure that we know what's going on for sure and we get the right help, right? So that's the right answer. Now, the value that I think I can bring to you, friend to friend, right? Kojo to Chris, talking as a friend. I posted a video the other day when I was talking about impulsive decisions. A lot of times when you have, like, here's the difference between something that's impulsive and compulsive. A compulsive behavior is like, kind of like with OCD. Let's say something is just like out of order. I'm like, I gotta rearrange that. I gotta move my wallet right here. I gotta move this block right there. I got this prescriber's guide right here. This book is getting on my nerves. Let me take this book and move it somewhere else. Like, that's kind of compulsive behavior. Like, I have to do this. Impulsive behavior is something that you do quickly, but you have a chance to break that if you can just think for a second. So a lot of times when you feel impulsive, like in the video, what I said is, if you feel impulsive, do any type of physical activity. Like, literally get up and give me 10 push-ups, or go for a jog, go for a run, and whatever you want to do, you'll think about that more. Let's say you want to go buy, a whole bunch of games and it's worth $200. You might not want to spend $200 on that. You could be better served saving the money. But if you just went like that, you just be all over the place, right? So do some exercise. That's what I do. If I feel impulsive, do a little bit of exercise, check in with somebody, just make sure that you want to actually do that. So that's how I would address the impulsiveness. Or like a terrible superhero group. I don't think it's a terrible group. I think that's a dope group. Page 180 workbook. Yeah, if you have the workbook, page 180 is social connections. Social connections. And I'm broke, so I'll check out the video. And Chris, look, I completely understand this because it's so expensive for people to get proper psychiatric services. And it's still the answer. I still have to say that because that's the answer. But until we're able to get the help that we need, hanging around people who have our back is going to be helpful. They can let us know, all right, okay, you've been up for a couple of days. Let's get some rest here. We need people around us like that, right? First time joining a live, you said having the community is important. How do you start the conversation with someone who doesn't know much about mental health or anxiety? How do you explain it to them without yelling or getting angry? That's a fantastic question right there, Ivana. That's a fantastic question. So what I would say is, what could be helpful is maybe moving your body a little bit, so that way when you enter the conversation, you're not upset, right? You got to take your time. You got to take your time, right? You got to take your time. Now, you have to understand, who is this person that you're talking to? If it's your mom, all right, if it's my mom and I have anxiety, I might want my mom to know a little bit about how I'm doing. So I'm going to take my time with my mom and talk to her. But if she's giving me a lot of back and forth, and for somebody who does not want to understand what you're talking about, there's no point in talking to that person. There's no point. Like, if you want to talk to somebody about mental health or what you've been going through and have no interest in hearing you out, you're going to be frustrated. Your voice is going to elevate. So you may want to just do your thing and then pull yourself back and say, oh, thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate you. And then that might not be your people. It might not be your people. It might not be your person or your people, So when you're trying to fit a square into a circle, you're going to have a lot of resistance. So you may have to find your person, but you should be able to do this without getting so upset or angry. When you catch yourself getting upset or angry, it's time to step back a little bit, and just catch yourself. Emily says, I've been doing so much better since I got mood stabilizer meds. Mania sucks, but since I got on it for meds, it's been such a help for me. See, this stuff works. There's a reason why, people say go out and get professional help. And of course, I know that it's hard for people to get that help. So until people can get that help, you have to, still support them and do what you can until they can find a provider in the area who can give them meds and therapy and so on and so forth. This is what I constantly go through my teenage daughter, my preteen nonverbal autistic son. Good food, exercise, therapy, open communication, visual schedule to stay on track. Ooh, I love the show for the visual schedule. Sometimes it's helpful for me too, because like I lose track of time easily. Having a visible schedule, very helpful. We're talking about mental health tips. The book. Yeah, I have a book that is doing pretty good, but it's a mental health workbook that we've been swearing by over here. It's been helping us manage our mood and stay focused and everything. And yeah, that's the link to the book right there. So Laura, thank you so much for putting it in there. Appreciate you. Ken Sola, thank you so much. My favorite post about read the thought or idea and wait the next day to see if it's necessity. Love the show right there. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Then to wake up the next day and you're like, oh, I bought $400 worth of shoes and I don't like any of them. And I forgot the tags. So now I'm stuck with the shoes and I'm out of $400, right? So I like this right there. I like this right here. All right. Now, the third thing that I've learned, this right here, I've been trying to convince you all about this for a while. And I'm not going to stop talking about it because it's so helpful, right? All right. So mental health issues, this is the third thing I've learned in 2023. Exercise is the answer, right? So disclaimer, exercise does not solve all mental health issues, right? So if you have somebody who is, like, let's say I'm working at the psych hospital and a patient comes in and they're having psychosis, psychotic break. I'm not going to tell them to go and exercise and they'll be healed. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm going to, check them out, maybe give them Zyprexa, let them sleep, get their meds straightened out, all that stuff. That's what we'll do. But I'm talking about mental health issues throughout the day, right? A little bit of a low mood, a little bit of anxiety here and there, frustration, impulsiveness. Throughout the day, if you have the chance to just go outside, just do a small little jog. If you have a dog, taking your dog on a walk one time a day, twice a day, that right there, a lot of mental health benefits. People don't realize how powerful that is. But just moving your body a little bit, the evidence is there. It's there, it's documented. The exercise helps with depression, it helps with anxiety, helps with ADHD, it can help with mood swings. It can help with trauma. It helps with so much. Like our bodies are meant to be moved. You don't have to go lift heavy weights. Just give me a brisk walk, a 10-minute brisk walk. That's all. That's all. And no worries. I know we're at an odd time. I appreciate you. But like a 10-minute brisk walk, literally. You're having a bit of a rough day and you're in a funk. I do this all the time. Like I'll wake up sometimes for whatever reason, I just feel anxious. I'm like, all right, this is weird. It's a sunny day outside. I don't know why I'm anxious, but I feel anxious today. I take the dog to the dog park. I watch all the different dogs running around and chasing my dog. And before you know it, I'm lost in the fact that my dog is running around in circles. And what am I doing? I'm actually in the present moment. I'm in the present moment. And I don't have time to be anxious, So exercise, it helps out so much. And I don't want, a lot of times people think exercise, I got to go to the gym every day. You don't even need a gym membership. If you have one, great. I go, I have two, it's fine. But just getting a little bit of exercise in, you're 1% closer to a heightened version of yourself. I think that's helpful. And Holly says, I walked last night. It was helpful. Right. Just a simple walk, just a walk. I would love to just walk with y'all. Just get all 35 of us, just go for a walk. Just walk. Just walk, about to get membership again. Yeah, the gym is helpful, but I think in the beginning it's really, I see things from my ADHD brain. So it's always hard to start things. So if we can just start, you'd be surprised how much you can do. Working out helps me clear my mind when my anxiety or bipolar kicks into overdrive, especially my boxing class. It helps a lot. Ah, yeah. And I thought about doing boxing too, but anything that gets your heart rate going, cardio, is helpful. And if you have the book, page 112 is really helpful for blah days. And Jackie, thank you for posting this there, because there's some days where you just don't feel you don't feel like it. Some days you just don't feel like it. You know, you can wake up with a plan to be productive. You wake up and you're like, nah, you know. And on those blah days, when we start to be productive, right? A little bit goes a long way. You brush your teeth, took a little bit, took a shower. All right, cool. We've done well. Let's take one small win, stack it up, 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 stack it up. Before you know it, you know, we're rolling. We're on fire. We're on fire. Page 48 for managing day-to-day activities. Exercise is not to be trained for marathon. You can do light things, something you enjoy: walks, climbing, dancing, swimming. Let your toddler loose in the park. That's an exercise. That's an exercise for real. Try to run after a toddler, especially if you're over 30 and your back is giving you, you know, issues. You know, that could be an intense workout right there. Chrissy says, what can you do if those in your house suffering? That will not do his recommendation. Chrissy, what can you do if those in your house suffering? Well, Chrissy, could you do it by yourself? Could you do it by yourself? Like literally, it can be something as simple as, ooh, my back hurting from the gym, right? Like literally, you can get up and do push-ups, right? I'm over 30 now, so my back is hurting. But you can get up and do push-ups, or you can, you know, do anything, or you can stretch, or jump ropes, right? You can, like this stuff right here, right? You know, literally something as simple as that. Because I know it sucks being in the house and then you ask people like, hey, y'all want to go for a walk? And then nobody wants to go. Then you're like, all right, I'm not going to go, right? But just the simplest thing, like, what's the simplest path, you know, that we can take? They will not get outside. Yes, I can, but they need it the most. Oh, Chrissy, I would say in the beginning, just lead by example. If you can't get them outside, just go yourself. And then when they see that you're happier and you're healthier, eventually they're gonna be like, all right, I need some of what Chrissy's on, you know. Let me see. I have separation and PTSD and depression and dysphoria and bipolar. To help them caretaker of 4. Yeah, Chrissy, I'll say just go start yourself. And when they see that you're at a heightened version of yourself, they're gonna say, okay, whatever she's on, I want that. Whatever she's on, I want that. I started walking 2 miles a day, 4 days a week, and it really helped my depression. Love the show right there to Amanda. And that's one of the, it is time for the water break. I forgot. Because somebody dropped a magic word in the chat, you know, and I'm using Kendra's bottle here. You know, good morning, hydrate yourself. Remember your goal. Keep chugging, feeling awesome. Don't give up. Almost finished. You did it. I cheated because I didn't fill it up all the way, but you get the point. You know, but one of the worst things about depression is that with depression, it's hard to do anything. Like just brushing your teeth with depression can feel like, you know, running for president. It's really difficult. But the ironic thing is that moving your body and exercising helps the depression, but the depression prevents you from getting out of bed to go move your body, right? So it doesn't make sense at all, right? But if you can just get a little bit of exercise in, it can be very helpful. All right, the magic word is cheers. Cheers, 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 cheers. All right, so this is a water break. It gives you a chance to get some water in so we can stay hydrated. So whatever you have, water, maybe some sparkling water or whatever beverage you have, just something to sip on, right? For the magic, the water break. We got the magic word in. All right, y'all. Big cheers. Woo, big cheers. Oh, look at me. I'm a big baby. I made a mess of my shirt. I'm a big baby. Mickey Ficky. Mickey Ficky. All right, let me answer a couple more questions real quick. I always try to tell myself to win the moment, meaning that if I don't get up on time and I'm starting with a blah day, I try to get small things accomplished so I don't feel worse over not getting stuff done. Win a moment and you can end up winning your day. I completely agree. Win a moment and you can end up winning your day. I love that. Top of the day. Hey from Minnesota. Can you explain the correlation of seasonal affective disorder along with depression? All right, so with seasonal depression, sometimes people have both. So when the seasonal depression lifts, the depression might just be there, right? But a lot of time with seasonal depression, let's say that there's 2 years in a row where a particular season you have low mood, loss of interest, you start doing things that you enjoy doing, you feel much more helpless and hopeless. You could be somebody who has seasonal depression, right? And it doesn't always happen in the wintertime, could be in the summertime as well, right? And it can be frustrating, especially for people who don't have depression, because then they're asking themselves like, why do I feel depressed, or like the weather, and normally one thing that helps with that is light therapy. Getting you outside can be helpful, like even like this right here. Oh, come on, now wants to not work. Make you ficky. This thing was working earlier. All right, great. So the light stopped working all of a sudden, but like light therapy and things like that can be helpful, especially when you have. Oh, now it's working. Okay, there you go. So like things like this, light therapy can be helpful if you live somewhere where there's not a lot of light. The book should be $14.99, and it should be on Amazon. Should be on Amazon. I share your videos on family. Chrissy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. I have severe depression, bipolar 2, and mobile wheelchair, chronic, severe, moderate pain, large women. Let me see. Last 3 days, went outside in my mobile wheelchair and feel good, but body hurts. All right. So, Jen, what I'll say is, I'm a big believer in exercise for everybody, but just check in with your doctor first and make sure that you're able to like exercise and like you won't hurt yourself, right? So exercise, like I said, exercise is the answer, but it's not like a one size fits all. So like if somebody's like rehabbing or recovering, I don't want you going out and like going for a brisk walk and hurting yourself. So just make sure that you can move yourself, but whatever exercise you can do, even if it's anything, just to get the body moving. Provided that you're able to do it, and your doctor allows you to do that, it can be very helpful. Let me see. Coming in late. Jenny, what's up? I need to be here. Right now, struggle with stay. I got a concussion last week doing yoga. Not sure if my low mood and anxiety is environment or biological. Still waiting on the signed book. Hint. I thought we got that book sent over to you. Send an email to the team. When we send the next round of books, I may have to get that book out to you. But Jenny, happy you're here. We're talking about 3 mental health tips that I've learned in 2023. And let me just recap it right here. Let me drop it in here. The 3 mental health tips I've learned. Number 1, we control very little. And 2 and 3 were out of order, right? But number 1, we control very little. Focus on what you can control. Number 2, mental health issues. Exercise could be the answer. I might want to revise that, because just like John was saying, if you're in a wheelchair, don't get up and hurt yourself, right? But if you're able to move your body a little bit, there could be some mental health benefits from that. Actually, I know that there are some mental health benefits from that, but you have to make sure you can move your body. And number 3, community matters, right? Sometimes it's not just what you do, but it's who you do it with. The people that you hang out with is very important. For those of y'all who are watching either live now or after the fact, please be very intentional with the people that you decide to spend time with. We can't just spend time with anybody. You have to make sure that they're aligned, they have the same goals, or we don't have to think alike all the time. You can be on the left and have friends on the right. All that stuff is fine. But you want to have people who support you, people who care about you, and people who genuinely want the best for you. And you also feel that way about them. If you have that, then you have a little community going where we all start to feel better about ourselves, right? So that's very important. All right. Oof. My bad. See, I'm getting older now. I I go to the gym all the time. That's another thing I have to work on. I got to work on my stretching. My back was killing me this morning, but luckily I stretched afterwards, so now I'm able to, you know, progress throughout the day. So that's it. Those are the 3 mental health tips that I've learned in 2023. And we will be on the live stream again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be late night with Dr. Kojo, you know, and there's so much that's changed with StreamYard, so many ways to make it more interactive. And I'll also figure out how to get this live stream to everybody on Facebook, because I know something happened where people who were subscribed to the live stream weren't getting the notifications right. So we're gonna have to work on that again. I'll talk to people at Facebook and see what we can do. But that is it for today's live stream. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Please, please, please be intentional with the people that you decide to spend time with, and understand that, you know, we have so much that's going on, right? Shauna, what's going on? I appreciate you, Shauna. I appreciate you. You know, but understand that there's so much that we have that's working against us, right? But we do control a little, you know, and the little that we can control, it is a lot, if that makes sense, right? So let's do our best to be intentional. Let's treat everybody with respect. Let's be kind, and let's be the best versions of ourselves today. So I love every single person in here. Thank you for allowing me to do this, and I will see you all tomorrow night. It's a live stream, y'all. Love y'all.